Exploring the 5 components of fitness. Hi, I'm Hayley from Parallel Coaching, and in today's video training, we're going to explore the components of fitness. Now, this is part of your level 2 principles and anatomy exam. Chances are that is combined as part of your exam, so you have both of those together, or you might be doing a separate level 2 principles and a separate level 2 anatomy exam. If that's the case, this will help you towards the level 2 principles component of that exam. Now, as part of this, you need to understand the 5 components of fitness. That's what we're going to explore today so that you can learn and remember them well. And inside that, we're going to understand about motor skills as well. Now, alongside this video, there is a blog, and on that blog, there is going to be 3 mock questions that will help you to test your knowledge on today's content. So as we go through today's presentation, take notes, understand the best that you can, and then come back to the blog and test your knowledge at the very end. Let's move forward and have a little look at the content from today's guide to acing your level 2 principles and anatomy exam, but exploring the 5 components of fitness. First of all, why do we need to know this? As a FITPRO, you will need to understand all of the components of fitness to ensure that you're creating a well-rounded, balanced, and effective program for your clients. Now, a client that is missing out on key components of fitness may be more susceptible to injury and to overtraining. And they may also be missing out on the health benefits associated with other components of fitness, which could restrict them from achieving their full potential. The combination of your anatomy and physiology knowledge and that of the core principles of fitness will allow you to get the best results possible with your clients. And that's the key thing I want you to focus on. Is that it's about how you get results with your clients that matters. And sometimes when we dive into our revision, especially at level 2, when we're just getting started, it can feel like all we're focusing on is learning and memorizing stuff. And we forget that actually this is a context, and the context of it is you being able to go and use this with your clients. It's the best context possible because essentially it's something that you want to go and do. It gives you purpose. So always link what we're learning back to what you're actually going to go and do with clients. It will definitely help you memorize it. Let's look at exercise and physical fitness. There is a difference between these. So there's some phrasing and some terminology that you're going to come across, and this is really key to clarify early on. So exercise versus physical fitness. So structured and planned activity that requires physical effort with the aim of sustaining or improving physical fitness. That's what exercise is, or physical activity. Whereas who defines physical activity? That's the World Health Organization, defines it as any bodily movement produced by skeletal muscles that requires energy expenditure. So you've got this difference already. They're quite similar. They sound a little bit wordy, but essentially they're talking about physical effort, the thing of doing something, doing a planned activity, something with structure that has an energy expenditure associated to it. Now, physical fitness is different, and this is the key point I want you to look at. Exercise is not fitness. They are actually different. So physical fitness is classed as being a state of well-being that provides optimal performance. Physical fitness is a potential outcome of taking part in regular physical activity and exercise. So we know that exercise is the structured activity. Now we can get fit as a result, potentially, of doing that exercise. So being physically fit defines an individual's ability to perform activities or exercises that train different components of fitness. So let's explore the health-related components of fitness. This is the first bit we need to explore, and there are 5 different components of fitness that you need to know about. First is cardiovascular fitness. Now, this is sometimes known as CV fitness, and it's the ability for the heart and the lungs and the muscles to take in, transport, and utilize oxygen and then kick it back out, basically. And it's our volume of oxygen, so our VO2 max is how it's expressed in terms of cardiovascular fitness. Now, sometimes it's known as cardiovascular fitness, stamina, aerobic fitness, but it relates to the ability to transport oxygen, use it, and then kick out the waste products afterwards. So we're talking about exercises that require us to have a repetition of large muscle contractions. We associate it with things like aerobics or running or cycling, and that's because there's repetitive muscle contraction that basically puts a demand on our heart and our lungs, where it's got to compete, it's got to get in more oxygen and transport it to service that contraction. That's why it's called cardiovascular fitness. So cardio meaning the heart, vascular meaning the blood vessels. Then we've got muscular endurance. This is the ability of the muscles to work continuously under low to moderate resistance. So can they keep going on a lighter weight? Then you've got muscular strength, and this is the ability for muscles to exert maximal force against a high resistance. So now we're heavier in that load, but it means that we maybe can't do as many of them. Maybe it's maximal, maybe it's 1 or 2 or 3, but it's strength of that muscle. So someone might have muscular endurance in that they can go for a long period of time, but they might not have much strength in the fact that they actually can't lift very much in 1 or 2 repetitions. And we need both of these in our daily lives and in the types of sports and activities that we want to go ahead and do. Then we have flexibility. This is number 4. So flexibility is the ability for a joint and the muscles that cross it to have an optimal and efficient range of movement. Now, it doesn't mean that you have to be able to have your leg behind your head. It doesn't mean that you need to be able to touch your toes. It doesn't mean that you need to be able to rotate a certain way. What flexibility means is that you have an optimal and efficient range of movement for the things that you need and want to be able to do. And a good balance of this means that your clients are going to be in a position whereby they can perform better, not only in the other components of fitness, but they can perform better in their function and in their daily life. Now, the 5th one is a bit of a curveball, because instead of it being about things that you might program in a session, body composition appears differently. So body composition is the final of our health-related components of fitness, and it's defined as the percentage proportion of fat mass versus muscle mass. Now, if this is in the relevant zones, which we'll go through in a moment, somebody's classed as having an appropriate or healthy body composition. So they are the 5 components of fitness. Let's just explore the body composition, one of those, in a little bit more detail, because it's often misunderstood. Now, 2 individuals may be of equal weight and height, but their body composition and appearance might be totally different. Muscular tissue takes up less space in the body than fat tissue, and this influences on how lean a person might appear, regardless of their weight that they might have on the scales. So healthy body fats are classed as being for women between 21 and 36%. Notice this is much larger than for men, whereby a healthy range is classed somewhere between 8 and 25. Obviously, the lower inside those ranges is going to be to a point whereby somebody will appear more lean. They will appear to have less fat on their body. The higher in those ranges or beyond it will mean that they are seen to have more fat storage around the body. Now, a ton of bricks versus a ton of feathers will weigh the same. They're both a ton, but the same, yet occupy different size spaces. And that's really important to remember when you're talking about body composition. Think you've got things that weigh the same, but they take up different spaces. That's why we might appear smaller when we have more muscle compared to fat for the same weight. So these are types of messages we can be sharing with our clients, but it's also good to understand about body composition. Now, I want to go into skill-related components of fitness. So we've explored the 5 health-related components. Let's look at skill-related. And we've got a nice, neat acronym on here to help you remember it. We use the acronym SPACER. So speed is how quickly a movement can be performed. So it's the speed that you can go at. Power is to exert maximum muscular contraction instantly in an explosive burst of movement. Now, on the health related, we had strength in there, muscular strength. Now we combine that strength with speed and we have power. That's essentially what's happening. Agility is basically the mixture of balance and coordination, and we're going to come to those in a second, but agility is the ability to change position of the body and move in different directions very quickly. So think like an agility cone run or agility ladder. That's kind of what people often think of in terms of agility. Coordination is the ability to smoothly move 2 or more body parts of the body under control. So can I move my upper body and my lower body? Can I control, or can I learn a sequence. These types of things are what we class as coordination. Maybe it's to coordinate your arms and legs to touch a cone and then turn around and then go back to another cone and touch another one. These different coordination things are stuff that we actually do day to day, and therefore these skill related components of fitness are really beneficial in daily life. Then E is going to stand for equilibrium, but really it's balance. So it's a different word for balance. The ability to control the body's center of gravity. Can you stand on 2 feet and actually not fall over? Can you stand on 1 foot? Can you stand on an unstable surface? These are balance. And then finally, reaction times. Reaction times is the ability to respond quickly to a stimulus. So can you respond, change direction? If someone says something, can you then respond to that? If a gun went off on a race, for you to start the race, could you start with good reaction times? So this is SPACER: speed, power, agility, coordination, equilibrium, which is balance, and then reaction times. This brings us towards the end of today's tutorial. Now, what I really want to do was explore with you about how you can learn so easily via video tutorials and how we explain things on screen. And hopefully what you've learned today is that it's made it a lot easier to break down and learn these complex topics. Not only have you learned SPACER, you've learned the 5 components of fitness, and hopefully you could remember those and recall them much easier now you've got context and you've related it to the things that you know of and that you do in your own fitness and that you're going to do with clients. So this is how we do our revision boot camps. This is how we help people pass their exams with confidence and in a short time frame. And that's because you're learning in a way that suits you, in a way that's dynamic, and in a way that is very effective. So I want to introduce you to the Level 2 Anatomy and Physiology Revision Bootcamp. This will help you learn, revise, and pass your Level 2 Anatomy and Physiology exam in under 10 hours, and it includes a whole section on principles, like what I've just gone through with the components of fitness. That's going to help you if you have a separate Level 2 principles exam, or it might be combined in what you're doing in one exam. Either way, we include it all in the one boot camp, so it will work for you regardless. This includes 5 revision stations, which will help logically guide you through the boot camp with simplicity in 10 hours of study. So I want you to think like a circuit boot camp where you work through each of the stations. It's like that. It's that simple. Follow one thing after the other and you'll have everything that you need to know. And that includes making sure that you've got a plan so that you know what to do, when to do it, so that you can pass your exam in time. We also look at how you plan the type of learning that you're going to do and fit that schedule in your week. And then we give you 16 video tutorials that are chunked down, and like what you've seen today, we've got the presentation on screen, plus you can see me as well. And then you can basically download those video tutorials to MP4, which is video, and MP3, which is audio. And then this will help guide you through the entire content. Then alongside that, you have 16 cheat sheets to help take notes and recognize what areas you know and highlight what areas need a little bit more revision. This then helps you also get prepared, ready for your exam, alongside one of the bonuses, which is your exam strategy training and your mock questions. So they help prepare you for the exam that you've got coming up. And then on top of that, you also get support from me. So 24/7 support, whether that is technical issues, whether it's revision issues, maybe you just can't get yourself motivated to go, or maybe you're stuck on a particular topic. That's what I'm here to help you with. And you get that as part of your revision bootcamp. So if you would like to find out more about how we can help you with your revision, all you need to do is to click the link that is alongside this video. It will take you to the Level 2 Anatomy and Physiology Revision Bootcamp. Take a look at all the information there and you will see all of the details of the 5 stations, 16 video tutorials, and have a look, because this content will be the same as what you're expected to do for your exam. It's standardized across all the leading providers. So it means that you're able to look at it and go, oh yeah, I'm supposed to learn about the heart. I'm supposed to learn about the skeleton. I'm supposed to learn about the joints. I'm supposed to learn about how the nervous system works. you'll be able to tick off all the modules and recognize that this is the exact content that you need ready for your exam. It's been an absolute pleasure to train with you today. Thank you so much for joining me. If you could also drop a little comment below this video, I'd love to hear what your big takeaway has been and what you've learned. And I will then see you on the next video. In the meantime, if you do have any questions, please do reach out to me and I will see you soon. Take care.